How you communicate with your peers would likely look very different from how you would communicate with someone calling the campus for information. When you communicate in your position, remember that you are representing the college. The video you are about to see will show you specific examples of what communication might look like in different departments.
Good communication for peer educators in the Wellness Center comes from a couple different mediums. So we want great interpersonal relationship skills, the ability to build rapport face-to-face, as well as using mediums such as email, phone, online apps.
As a peer educator, I communicate through email, so I have to make sure my emails sound professional with grammar and spell check error.
Communication, you kind of get to know the person and you evaluate what makes them comfortable and what makes them thrive and be able to express themselves while at the same time communicating effectively and getting the job done.
Communication, is one of our priorities, especially since we're the middle person between the doctors, the coaches, and the student athletes, and sometimes even the parents. So we've got to be very clear on how we communicate with everybody so everybody's on the same page and we can prevent further injuries or any type of issues that can come on later on.
So sometimes you might be told two different things from two different teachers, and that can be tricky. So just having the confidence in who you are to walk up to another teacher and just be like, hey, can you clarify this for me?
Some of the challenges that come to communicating in retail include being very patient with customer service. A lot of times students and other community members have a lot going on in their lives. They're really stressed out for different reasons because of their homework and their assignments, and they come in, they might not be in the best mood, but we have to provide really great service to them anyways.
Students in the IRC have to be able to communicate clearly, give clear instructions to students, help them to understand what an instructor is looking for, be able to capture those thoughts so they can explain it to another student.
Communication is a big role, and you got to figure out how to communicate to each person differently because people learn differently. So that's honestly probably one of the trickiest parts, is I can't tutor one person the same as I tutor another person.
Good communication in our department is where students and professors maintain a good working relationship. I try to teach my students to listen twice and act once in their lab activities.
Yeah, so I think for our project, none of us have ever really done this before. And so it's really important that we're all on the same page of how we're going to accomplish this objective, right? We want to prepare it in a certain way. And if we're not on the same page, then we're going to make mistakes, and some of those mistakes, once you make them, you don't get a second chance. So.
Good communication as a lab tech here is making sure everybody's on task. We talk to each other, go over a plan of what we're going to do, just making sure that each one of us is following what we're supposed to do.
Because there's so many different communication styles, because we have so many different students coming from different areas. We have international students, students come from the East Coast, West Coast, and the lingo can be different everywhere we go. So you just have to be open to understanding the other people in your group and be able to communicate with each person the same.
I think successful communication in outdoor activities relies upon an individual's ability to connect with the people that they're with. One easy way to do this is to ask questions about their background rather than to tell your own story. And I find that this is a really valuable practice that a guide can implement when they're out on a trip with a group.
Communication in the food service industry is different from communicating in other fields of work. I feel like communication in the food service industry, people are working off lists, standard operating procedures, and there's a standard in the way we communicate in the food service industry, both using dates, times of food coming in, times of food coming out, and just being able to communicate with each other about what the next task is.
Communication in the office setting is really, really important, particularly in the advising office. A lot of times our student workers are the first point of contact for a prospective student or a new student who's feeling a little lost on campus. So it's really important to project that welcoming feeling. Students can sense when you're bothering them with your communication, so it's not only what you say, but how you say it and your body language too.